Welcome back, all my aspiring mathematicians. In math, there are certain topics that deals with sequence. And today's lesson is going to be about arithmetic sequence. But before we get started, let's first define what a sequence is. So a sequence is arithmetic if there exists a number d called the common difference such that a sub n minus a sub n minus 1 is going to be equal to d for n that is going to be greater than or equal to 2. So if we start with a particular first term and add the same number successively, we will obtain an arithmetic sequence. Now there is also the geometric sequence, but that is totally different because the arithmetic sequence, the difference there is going to be in addition or a subtraction. But with a geometric sequence, the difference is going to be your ratio, meaning that you're going to multiply. So let's first define what an arithmetic sequence is. Arithmetic sequence is an ordered list of numbers in which the difference between each pair of consecutive terms or numbers in the list is the same. The difference is called the common difference, and it follows the pattern of addition. So let's first talk about the steps that we will need to take when we are finding the nth term. There is a formula that you will have to use when you are dealing with any math problem that has to do with arithmetic sequence. And the formula is simply a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus parentheses n minus 1 close parentheses d. Or you might see some book write it as a sub n equal a sub 1 plus d open parentheses n minus 1 close parentheses. Now let's break down what each component of this formula means. So a sub n is simply telling you is the nth term, or what we say n is the index of the desired term that we are looking for. A sub 1 is the first term, and then d is simply the common difference, and the difference can be an addition or it could be a subtraction. And if it is an addition, it would be a plus a number. If it is a subtraction, it would be minus a number. And you will find that continuously during each of the numbers that is listed. So let's get into an example that deals with arithmetic sequence. Now let me say to you that sometimes the questions are posed differently. There is not just one way of posing a question. So I'm going to show you two ways that the question can be posed to you, because as you should know by now, for me, variety is the spice of life. And I like for you to level up when you're dealing with math. So let's get into our first example where we are going to find the nth term. But before we get started, let's first talk about the steps. Once you have the formula, the first step is that you're going to determine d. And the d here is a common difference. And as I stated before, it could be a plus or it could be a minus. And after you have done that, the second step is that you're going to substitute whatever value you have for the a sub 1, which is the first term. A sub n is the nth term that you're trying to find. It could be the 24th term or the 50th term. It simply means that if it is a 24th term, then you're going to use a sub 24. If it's the 50th term, then you're going to use a sub 50. And a sub 1 is always the first term. Now, you will notice that you will also have n in the parentheses because it's n minus 1, and that n is simply the index of term that is desired, or the index of desired term. Step number 3 is that you're going to simplify all of that, and we are going to use order of operation. And if you don't remember how to use order of operation, you can go back and watch my video on using order of operation to help you. So let's get into our first example on arithmetic sequence. So first, I'm going to get started by writing the formula for the arithmetic sequence. And I stated before, you can have it at a sub n, which is equal to a sub 1 plus d open parentheses n minus 1 close parentheses. Or in some textbooks, you may see a sub n equal a sub 1 plus n minus 1 and the d on the other side. It doesn't matter, because when you are applying the order of operation, you will get the same answer either of the formulas that you may use. So let's get into our first example. In the arithmetic sequence, the first term is 50 and the third term is 42. So we are to find the 10th term in the sequence. As usual, I always tell my students to start out with the formula first and write the formula as a sub n equal a sub 1 plus d open parentheses n minus 1. Now, the first term is 50 and the third term is 42. So if we look at this, we will note that there is going to be a common difference here. The numbers start at 50 and you can even write it over here. You have 50 and then the third term is going to be 42. So what you can do to find d, you are missing a number here, right? And we don't know what it is. What we're going to do, we're going to take the 42 minus 50 and that is going to give you negative 8. Now, because we have this missing number here, which will be the second number, we are going to now realize that is jumping from here to here is actually two numbers, right? So we are going to do negative 8 divided by 2, which is going to be negative 4. So whatever number here is that it's going to be 50 minus that number, which is going to be number 46. And then 46 minus 4 is going to give us 42. So our d here is going to be negative 4. Okay? So once we identify our d, in this case, which is negative 4, then you are going to substitute each of those into what we have. So we're looking for the 10th term here. So definitely a sub 10 is equal to the first term, because remember the components are a sub 1, which would be 50, plus negative 4, open parentheses, 10 minus 1. All right? So when you see an addition sign and a subtraction sign together, you can change that, because that is not just going to be a subtraction. So you can rewrite it. A sub 10 equal 50 minus 4 open parentheses, and you can do the math here, which would be 9. And if you need help on using order of operation, go back and watch my video on order of operation to guide you. So now we can multiply this and we will get a sub 10 equal 50, and this is going to give you negative 36. So a sub 10 is equal to 50 minus 36 is going to simply be 14. So a sub 10 is equals to 14, and that is your answer. And I always tell my students, box your answer or draw a cloud around your answer. As you should know by now, variety is the spice of life for me. And I'm not just going to sit here and pose the question in one format to you. I'm going to show you another way that they could ask you a question pertaining how to work out a problem like this. So let's get into the next example. The question is, given an arithmetic sequence, right, where you have 2, 8, 14, 20, and 26, and I'm showing that it continues, you're to find the 24th term. Looking at this problem, You first, as I say, step number one, you're going to determine your D, which is your common difference. And in this problem, it's going from 2 to 8, which would be a plus 6, going from 8 to 14 plus 6, 14 to 20 is a plus 6, and 20 to 26, it is a plus 6. So your D here is equals to 6. All right, or you can put plus 6 is fine, 6 is fine. Now you're going to write your formula. A sub n is equal to A sub 1 plus D, open parentheses, n minus 1, close parentheses. And after you've written your formula, the next step that you're going to do is that you're going to substitute your values in here. And we're looking for the 24th term. So we're going to do A sub 24 is equal to the first term, which is A sub 1 is 2 plus our common D here, or our D here is 6, parentheses, 24 minus 1, close parentheses. Right? Now A sub 24 is equals to 2 plus 6, and this is going to be 23. So we're going to multiply this first, and this is going to be 6 3s 18, carry 1, 6 2s 12, 138, and bring everything else down. A sub 24. So A sub 24 is going to be 140, and you box or cloud your answer. So let's get into our next example on this type of problem. So the next problem is that we're given an arithmetic sequence of -3, -6, -9, and -12. Continue ... And we are going to find the 15th term. So once again, we are going to rewrite our formula. A sub n equal A sub 1 plus, and I'm going to use the other formula now to show you that we can also use the other formula, which is n minus 1, close parentheses, D. So we need to find the 15th term. So we are going to write A sub 15 equal A sub 1 is our first term, A sub 1, and our D here, we are going from here to here, we are subtracting 3. This is minus 3. This is going to be a minus 3. Notice this time the D is a negative value. So D is equals to -3, not positive. So this is the reason why I like to give more than one examples. So we are going to substitute A sub 1, which is -3, plus, and we will have our n, which would be our 15 minus 1, and then the -3 on the outside. So we're going to have it like this. Now, because we have it like this, I'm going to consider A sub 15, or the 15th term, is -3, plus this is going to give you 14 times -3. It is fine if you use the other formula where you have the -3 in front. That is okay. So A sub 15 is going to be negative. When you multiply -3 times 14, you're going to get the -42. And because you have -42 here, we're going to put it together. A sub 15 is going to be -3 minus 42, which is going to be -45. And that would be your 15th term. Notice all your numbers here are negative, so your answer has to be negative. All right, and we're looking for the 15th term. And if they ask you to write the next 3 terms, that would be easy. You can continue with the flow and know that the next one will be the next term after -12, because you're going down by 3. Because you're going down by -3, after -12 would be -15, -18, -21, and you keep going. But obviously we are not going to list all of the 15 terms here. The easiest way, use your formula to arrive at the answer that is asked of you to get. Now that you've seen 3 examples given to you and notice that 2 of the examples were given in the same format, how they pose a question to you, and the other was given to you in a different format, I hope that this will shed some light on how to use the arithmetic sequence formula and arrive at any answer that you need to do when you are given a math problem that has to do with arithmetic sequence. So in conclusion, now that you know how to apply the arithmetic sequence formula and solve any problem on how to find the nth term of a given problem that deals with arithmetic sequence, I hope that this video has helped you tremendously and you will apply the techniques that I just laid out for you on your next math problem that has to do with arithmetic sequence. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And if you like what you see, touch that like button. And guess what? Don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it with others around the world so they too can level up their game when it comes to arithmetic sequence. Leave me a comment because I like to read your comments. And thank you for watching and see you soon on the next video to come. Bye now. Cheers.